Judd, of course, staying out there in the arena after a 3-1 win over the shootout champion Tom Ford. Breaks of
Judd showing his cue power there to get on the pink in the middle pocket.
I think you're right in what you say, though, about the disappointment from the Masters, and I think he will be really disappointed. He didn't really turn up, did he, against Kyron? He really struggled. He looked a little out of sorts, and it's not something we're used to seeing from Judd. He's, well, in every tournament he's played in this year, bar one, he's been in the quarterfinals at least. So, well, this season, dating back into last season as well. So it's an impressive record that he's got going.
I saw most of his first two matches in the Masters and he was almost faultless, so it would have been a shock, I guess, to Judd to not perform in that semi-final against Kyron, but it just shows you with snooker, you're never the same player from one day to the next, so however well you play, you still got to produce it again.
Yeah, and it's something I hear down the club all the time. At any level, as you say, Ben, particularly amateur players and beginners, they'll say one day they feel like they're potting everything and they can't miss and everything's really good technically and all feels great, and then the next day they can't pot a ball. And I suppose it applies to the professional players as well. You think someone like Judd Trump, everything he's won in the game, the level that he plays to then dip, it is a shock to see him play like that, I suppose, but it just shows that it can happen.
Yeah, looking at Sean Murphy in that Masters, he played absolutely brilliant and was the best player from start to finish, without a doubt. And you look at his cue action and the way he played in that tournament, and you wonder how he ever loses. But it just shows you how difficult snooker is.
So Judd going well early on in this first frame, looking to stamp his authority. Straight in amongst the balls and looking to keep Stuart Bingham cold.
$47. $48. $53. $54.
So this black and the red down the top cushion means that he will need one of those reds by the pick. Clearly from the shot that he's played, the red at the top of the pack will pass to the left middle pocket, so
60.
One good shot here, get nicely on the black, and then doesn't need to disturb the pack of reds.
62.
Judd looking at a possible plant just to the right of the pink spot. Thought he might hit that a little bit harder, but looks end of break.
60.
Yeah, I'm with you there. At that sort of pace, it looked almost impossible to land on a red. And at first glance, he isn't on one. So 69 points to the good, okay, but still 75 available. Doesn't really want to promote this red from beneath the black either, so there may be life left in this frame just yet.
Just trump.
And that was why he didn't
69.
want to promote that red. He's got the double kiss, which was unintended, trying to leave the cue ball behind the black. Snooker Bingham on all the reds, but he's brought that red out, and he has left the red very thin to the left middle pocket. Wonder if Stuart will be tempted to try and get the cue ball round the back of the black. It possibly is a free chance this for him to get himself going.
Yeah, there's no balls safe here, so Judd would ideally like a few balls safe. So I think Stuart might be forced into a red into the middle pocket here.
What?
Great shot. And even though he's 69 behind, you'd possibly put him favourite for the frame.
That was a classic case of being backed into a corner and your shot selection being decided for you. Judd played a pretty decent shot to get that cue ball tight to that top cushion. Very much limiting what Stuart could do with that shot. Felt that it was time to attack, had nothing to lose really. Already well behind in this frame, but in getting the red, and it was a brilliant pot, as you said, Ben. Created a great chance for himself.
Sam.
The only thing with this, even though these four reds are in the open, you can only afford to take 2 pinks or 1 blue and the rest with blacks. So it won't be easy, especially with that red in the bulk.
Yeah, his main concern here will be trying to take blacks with these reds by the pink. That just gives him a little bit of wiggle room in terms of that red in the balk area. We're doing his best here to focus on making sure he gets top side of each red to get back for the black. These short matches, they can turn very, very quickly, and with it, the group as a whole, so Stuart will recognise this as a chance to land
20.
an early blow to Judd.
22. $29. $30.
Just come up a little awkward on this pink. A little bit more of a stretch than he would have liked, but shouldn't be an issue. Pink takes him to 36, that's 33 behind with the final red, so pink or black off the last red needed. Oh, but he's completely come across that.
Stuart Bingham. 30.
So a big let-off for Judd Trump, steps up and knocks in the routine red, and that's the end of this opening frame. That was a big chance for Stuart. He'll be really disappointed that he wasn't able to make that chance count. Just getting his money's worth here, carrying on 40 points behind.
2.
No real hope of winning the frame. Possibly just playing on for a little bit of table time. Oh, look at this for a shot.
Stuart Bingham 2.
One or two snookers is hard enough against any player on the tour. Never mind the world number one. The fact that Stuart needs 4 snookers will mean that he'll probably have to lay maybe 10 snookers before he gets all the penalty points. But there's one.
Three. 7.
Just another demonstration of what the players can do when the pressure is off. Trump just swinging these around, and look at this for a shot. I've lost count of how many cushions he's hit there. Oh, not to be with the long double, but the initial visit from Judd, more than good enough to take the opener. Kicking off from where he left on in match 1, he leads Stuart Bingham 1-0. remember, just to recap the format and the prize money structure, it's £100 per frame won in the group stages. 4 players, the top 4 players from the group standing come the end of the group matches tomorrow afternoon, will progress to the playoffs, where they effectively become 2 semi-final matches. The winners of them 2 will contest for a place in winners group. The prize money increases as well, £1,000 just for getting to those playoffs, £2,000 for the runner-up, £3,000 for winning the group, as well as the £300 a frame in the playoffs. So it can be a good little earner over the next couple of days for someone.
One. One.
I was looking at Stuart Bingham's record this season, Ben, and I think for a player of his class, it's been a very, very poor season so far. He's not been past the last 16 of any tournament this whole calendar season, so that's a pretty bizarre stat. I think it's fair to say. Someone like Stuart, you just expect him to be at the latter stages of any event he plays in, but not this year.
Yeah, that is an amazing stat, but obviously Stuart is probably the best person to ask. It doesn't take much though for your game to drop, so maybe he's not quite played as well this season or lost a few close matches.
7.
I remember he won an amazing match, well, unfortunate for Ding in Saudi Arabia. I think that was to get to the last 16, and maybe that could have been a great tournament. I can't remember who he lost to in the next round, but that was an incredible finish to that match.
Yeah, and if you don't know what happened in that game, then I strongly suggest you tap it into a search engine, because it was remarkable. Stuart Bingham has the nickname Ball Run, and what happened in that game, well, it's as if the gods were shining on him. Ding was well in front. Was it the deciding frame? And
I think he was about 40 in front, and he split the reds perfectly, so it's probably going to be matched to Ding. And his tip fell off his cue and hit one of the reds, so it was a foul for Stuart. Stuart still had to clear the table, but the balls were very nice. I've never seen anything like that in all the time I've been playing snooker. To lose a match with your tip hitting the red.
20.
oh, it's remarkable, isn't it? You think you've seen everything there is to see in this game, but something always crops up that just completely baffles you. That was one of their moments as Stuart looks to get into the pack of reds and try and get something going in this match. Had a great chance in that opener, but Mr. Pink completely queued across it. You could see, just having a little look at these reds at the back of the pack, he feels they may be close to a plant to this left corner pocket. If they are, he better make sure it's pretty much guaranteed, because all the reds will be opened. Well, he's missed it by a long way.
22.
Can only imagine that they went the wrong way that he thought the reds would go, the plant, to miss it by that far, because he played it pretty confidently and quick. So that was a surprise that he missed it by that far. Judd's looking at just trying to pop this red into the green pocket. He's just looking where to leave the white if he did miss it, not to leave too much for Stuart.
He's done the calculations. 2-0 down Matthew Selt was to the Thunder, but he's clawed his way back in, and we're going to a final frame shootout over on table 2. The Matchroom Multisport YouTube channel to keep an eye on that one as that first match over there concludes. as Stuart Bingham pretty much immediately finds himself back in amongst the balls. Judd left the red to the middle pocket from attempting that red to the green pocket, so looking to put an end to this second frame very quickly, Stuart. These balls are very well situated.
$60. 70. 24. 25. 32. 33.
So the lead up to 62 for Stuart here, so he'll need red colour and one more
40.
red to be safe in this frame.
40.
He's done to hit that slightly, so he's wrong side of the blue, so not ideal for the next red. I'll have to leave it from a little bit more distance than he would have liked, but you'd still expect him to pot this red.
46. 47.
Good response in this frame from Stuart, from missing that pink in the frame before when he had a good chance to clear up, so back on level terms.
54.
Yeah, I'm sure he was fearing the worst when he attempted that plant to left corner.
55.
Only 30 points to the good in this frame. Even it seemed a lot on for Judd, but not able to get himself in. So he stepped up here, Stuart, and made a telling contribution to take this second frame.
61.
These groups are so hard to predict what's going to happen. And of course, there's a lot of matches to be played. Each player 6 group matches. I suppose the only thing we can confidently predict is that whoever's going to win this group, that they're going to beat Jack Jones in the final.
68.
Yeah, probably. Surely that's a record if Jack got to a final and this one 5 straight finals. I'm not sure if that is a record. I know players have gone through all 7 groups before, but I'm not sure if they'd have got to 5 straight finals.
Well, we'll soon find out, but as for now, Stuart Bingham has levelled things up. It's 1 apiece here at the BetVictor Championship League. 1 apiece here on table 1 at the BetVictor Championship League. It's 2 apiece over on table 2. Neil Robertson against Matthew Selt. That deciding frame has got underway. Judd Trump, of course, won his opening match here on table 1 against Tom Ford, 3-1. So currently sits at the head of the table, looking to extend his lead at the top should he register another win here. Just looking at the schedule as well, Judd has got 4 matches today, all of them of which will be played on this table. And Ben, you can do a lot of your damage early on in this format. If Judd can register probably 3 or 4 wins, say for argument's sake, it would pretty much cement his place in the playoffs come tomorrow.
Yeah, 4 wins, yeah, definitely gets you to the semi-finals. 3 wins, you're pretty much there as well. Yeah, so well, he'll be aiming for all 4 wins, but 3 out of 4 would be a pretty good day also. Nice shot there by Judd, screwing off the reds, landing perfect on the black.
Yeah, brilliant demonstration of control. Low on the red, using the pack to control the cue ball, back out for the black. Was just hoping that a red ball wouldn't cover the path of the black, which it didn't. Oh, what a chance this is for Judd.
8.
No. Well, Jack Jones has already made a 147 in this event, in the second group. And this is a great chance to keep himself on the black for as long as possible. And you know that someone like Judd, he'll be going for it, won't he?
60.
Yeah, it'd definitely be in his mind, I'd imagine, already.
$70.
We was just talking off air. The maximum that Sean Murphy made last week at the Masters, I don't think you'll ever see a better chance for a maximum. When he came to the table, the first red and black were certainly missable. But once he negotiated them,
20.
the chance was all there. He just had to stand up as Judd disappoints us. What's he done there?
Yeah, that shot was going to tell you if he was going for the 147 or not. He could have possibly played for the black, but obviously he wasn't interested.
28. $29.
Either way, it's a very good chance to score a few points this for Judd. The first red was excellent, really. Controlling the reds and getting back for the black.
36.
Quick fire stuff this on table 1. We're already a match and a half in before the match on table 2. The first match of the day on table 2 has even concluded.
37. $44. $45. $51. $52.
Nice recovery there from Judd, top side of the blue, so back in perfect position.
57. 58.
Again, top side of the blue, bought all those.
It only felt like
70.
yesterday that there was a big fanfare around the fact that Ronnie O'Sullivan reached 1,000. Well,
72.
Judd Trump is already on 1,029 for his career, still only 35 years of age, with an awful amount of time still ahead of him. Where's that figure going to get to, Ben?
I think it'll get close to possibly 2,000. 1,500, I think,
78.
definitely. But it's just how long he plays for as well. But yeah, I think he'd go somewhere close to 2,000.
Oh, well, that's a
Judd Trump,
shame. No
78
century
on
break
the
from
frame.
Judd Trump, but a 78 to back up the 69 made in frame one. The world number one in a commanding position. He leads Stuart Bingham 2 frames to 1. On table 2 between Matthew Sell and Neil Robertson. Still a lot of deciding to be done over there. 2 each. 46 plays 16 in the decider. The Matchroom Multisport YouTube channel to keep an eye on table 2. As we watch Judd Trump eye up another one of his trademark long reds. And yet again finding its destination, and what a piece of control he's shown there. The pot was good enough, but then to keep the white on the black, superb.
Yeah, the position was actually, for me, more impressive than the pot. The pot, you expect him to get those sort of shots, but the control to stay on the black was fantastic.
Well, he was immediately up off that one and let out a gasp of air. He knew in playing with that black with a little trace of right hand side to come the right side of the red. Just misjudged the aiming on the black. That's a very uncharacteristic miss from Judd Trump, someone that's very good at that type of shot. So a real reprieve this for Stuart. He's got the perfect angle here to go into the pack should he wish. He doesn't have to play it, but it's a guaranteed split. previous shot from Stuart went very much a straight, hand on table. Good iron up, red to the green pocket, but what's he played there? Not got into the cue ball enough to come out for the black. Now, has he put himself in trouble? Can he get through to either the blue or the brown? If he can, he's okay. He's nominated the brown. Just drop the cue ball in behind the yellow. Yet again, another big miss-hit from Stuart Bingham. Trying to thin off the red, control it to the side of the table, caught it too thin. Cue ball back out. Judd slightly hampered by the yellow, but pot should be no problem. Doesn't need to do too much with it either. So just studying this little cluster of 7 reds around the pink spot. Does the middle one of them pass through the pack to this left corner? A little straight on the black to go into them. Has the one loose red at the top that he can play on. Possibly a plant that he can make to this left corner as well. I think where he's landed, that's very easily makeable. But deciding against it. This time has landed high up, enough on this black to go into them should he wish.
Little bonus landing on that one in the middle straight, so he can screw back for the black. Free another red as well.
Well, this is looking like curtains for Stuart Bingham in this match. Taking these very nicely again, Judd Trump, although he was let in very easily from Stuart Bingham. What a brilliant player he's become. Oh, as he's missed the black. Little glance at the score, he's numerically over the line in this frame, but he would have liked to have put that match to bed. He seemed bemused by what happened there.
It's just a shock to the system whenever he misses, Judd, so he looked as shocked as we did.
Sort of gave the black a stare as if to say, how dare you don't go in the pocket? What on earth do you think you're doing?
Stuart will try and pop another red and a black and then look to lay a snook on that last red.
Yeah, it's 2 snookers required for Stuart, but leaving the final red on the table just increases the chances of a free ball. And what I'd like to probably do is send the red down the table and get it close to a baulk colour or the pink. And get the cue ball in behind the black. But again, it needs to be a good snooker should he lay one. Well, that tells us that he's going to take the red and black here and then try and play for snookers on the yellow.
60.
So, chance to get the cue ball in behind the pink here.
Stuart Bingham. 26.
Well, not to be for Stuart Bingham. He played on for the snookers, but wasn't able to get them, and Judd Trump just putting the finishing touches in his Judd Trump style here, just smashing them around, inevitably going in the middle of the pockets. It's just an easy game. It's just a very easy game. And here comes the handshake, so it's Judd Trump, the world #1, with a brilliant performance there. 3-1 winner over Stuart Bingham. Back-to-back wins for Judd Trump here. 2 matches played, 2 matches won. The next match up here on table 1 will be between Leicester's very own Tom Ford and the winner of the match just finished on table 2, Neil Robertson, will be back in a very few moments' time.